So, full disclaimer, this video is going to be pretty much uploaded while the Red Wings are playing off against the Islanders. The game has not begun at the time of me talking into this microphone, but by the time the video is up on YouTube, that puck would have already dropped. But today's game is interesting, because it is officially Pavel Datsyuk Hockey Hall of Fame night in Detroit. And the reason this is cool, not only is because Pavel Datsyuk is going to be there, he's got the suit, he's got the tie, he's got everything, but because just a few minutes ago it was officially announced by Dan Milstein, the hockey agent that pretty much deals with most of the Russian hockey players in the NHL. He tweeted this, that Hockey Hall of Famer Pavel Datsyuk has unretired, and he has signed a one-day NHL contract with the Detroit Red Wings. Once a Red Wing, always a Red Wing. We are Gold Star. And the best part about this is, the language that they are using is official. Pavel Datsyuk has signed a contract with the Detroit Red Wings. 3:36 p.m., so this was about 20 minutes ago-ish. Pavel Datsyuk is back in the National Hockey League. He is back on the payroll. He is back on the Detroit Red Wings. And the funny part is, we are seeing some Red Wings fans going out there and saying, hey, this signing, it doesn't have to be symbolic. He's still better than any of the guys the Wings have in the bottom six, and maybe even one or two in the top six. I agree. He's probably second-line center on this current team, even at 40-something years old. That's kind of funny. Now, this is in response to a Max Bultman tweet that pretty much said the same thing. Pavel Datsyuk has signed a symbolic one-day contract today to formally end his career as a Detroit Red Wing. Is he eligible to play? I think the third line could use a jump. Are we positive he finishes this contract out, or do we think he'll try to play somewhere closer to his daughter? Symbolic, he can play on this team, and I would love to see it. Are we positive it's symbolic? Give me Raymond, Kane, and Datsyuk on a line for tonight. I think what a lot of Wings fans' responses to this tells us is just how good Pavel Datsyuk was as a player. I saw a thread on Our Hockey, the subreddit, earlier this week, or was it last week, something like that, I'm not really too sure, but somebody went out there and asked, oh, was Pavel Datsyuk overrated? And the reason they asked that is because, oh, Pavel Datsyuk only maxed out as a career high of 97 points. This guy wasn't one of the top point scorers every single year. Like, oh, is he overrated? And the thing is, if you go back to that Our Hockey thread, in fact, I want to see if I could find it here. But if you go back to that Our Hockey thread, you'll see a lot of people flaming the guy who asked it. I'm actually on a second tab right here, just trying to look for that Pavel Datsyuk thread. Here it is. Yes, this is exactly it. Was Pavel Datsyuk overrated offensively? Obviously a great two-way player, but I found some highlights that made him seem like he did that every shift. I was watching some of his old games during 2009, and he may have done one good deke the whole game and even lost the puck a few times, whereas Kane, who isn't a two-way player, tends to showcase his stick handling more and creates plays more consistently. Oh, memory neat, 7381. I don't want to comment on your age, but it is very obvious that you are not, like, above 15 years old. Was Pavel Datsyuk overrated offensively? Let's go out there and read this. What an age where we have kids that never watched Datsyuk play and is questioning whether his offensive ability is overrated. His greatest talent was his play away from the puck. Okay, fine. He's the ultimate magic man. Datsyuk walked so McDavid could run. I think McDavid is more like Bure. Okay, I understand where they're coming from, but I can also understand why they're getting downvoted. Pavel Datsyuk was underrated offensively. He sacrificed a lot of scoring because he prioritized his 200-foot game. For all of his highlights where the puck went in, he had plenty more where he or his teammates didn't finish. Pavel Datsyuk made Justin Abdelkader a perennial 20-goal scorer. I get the point you're making, but Abdelkader broke 20 goals exactly once. And then, yeah, I was half joking, but I checked his stats and OMG, he was worse than I remembered. Holland definitely failed in not keeping Hossa. Franzen was homegrown, sure, and likely cheaper, but the duo of Dots and Hossa was truly unmatched in that 2009 season. We can go out there and check that after we finish off this commentary here. Hypothetically, if Datsyuk's offense was much more consistent each play, the Wings would have gotten someone else to do the defensive work, Memory Neat replies, or Datsyuk's defense was so phenomenal that it helped them more when he played a defensive-style game. He won the Selke 3 times and also helped them win a cup one of those seasons. He also did it with such elegance. Also, I know Osgood and Howard were good goalies, but both were not good enough to consistently steal games. Not quite like Lundqvist or Rinne or Price. This was not the style of hockey being played today where offense is really preferred over defense. They needed Datsyuk to play the way he had to in order to win the cups, and they did. In 2009, he was 4th in league scoring behind Malkin, Ovi, and Crosby. They were all in their early 20s, while Datsyuk was 30. 30-year-old Datsyuk was just behind a 21-year-old Crosby, a 23-year-old Ovi, and a 22-year-old Malkin, in front of a 24-year-old Zach Parise, a 23-year-old Brian Getzlaf, 25-year-old Ilya Kovalchuk, and then you have Iginla at 31, Backstrom at 21, Savard at 31. In this year, you're saying he's overrated. He outscored some of the most dynamic players of a generation while being nearly a decade older than them, all while being a stud two-way player. And he won the Selke that year while doing it. This is all bleeding into our Pavel Datsyuk conversation, because if you go over to that 08-09 Detroit Red Wings season, obviously that was the year that they lost the Stanley Cup in the finals to the Pittsburgh Penguins. They won the Cup in 08, but that 08-09 Detroit Red Wings season, man, crazy. 97 points out of Datsyuk. Marian Hossa had 71 points and 40 goals. Zetterberg, 73 points. There's a lot going on here with the Detroit Red Wings. Oh, look at that. Yuri Hudler. What a name. What a blast from the past there. I do kind of... Actually, yeah, I forgot that Yuri Hudler was a part of that Red Wings team. But Pavel Datsyuk was so good, and he was so amazing everywhere on the ice, offensively, defensively, whatever, that it's kind of ridiculous that at 46 years old we have fans, I don't even know if they're tongue-in-cheek, but there is a legitimate reason to believe that Pavel Datsyuk, had he suited up for the Red Wings today, actually could be a pretty okay player. Like, I mean, he's already better than any of the guys in the bottom 6. Let's go out there and ask that. Okay, Red Wings line combinations heading into today's game against the New York Islanders. I get it. They're already playing against the Islanders at the time of this video's publication. But who's a better player? Jonathan Berggren or Pavel Datsyuk at 46 years old? Tyler Mott or Pavel Datsyuk at 46 years old? I'm sorry, but Tyler Mott, he does have a lot of effort. He does have a lot of work ethic. He's a very good-minded player. I think a lot of people love Tyler Mott. I do, especially because I'm a Canucks fan. But would I rather have Tyler Mott in my team or a 46-year-old Pavel Datsyuk? You know, as long as Datsyuk's cardio is able to keep him afloat for maybe 15... No, not 15. That's way too high. Let's say 10 to 12 minutes of a game. As long as that guy's able to move, I actually do think that he would be better than most of these players, especially with the hands and the puck skills. Pavel Datsyuk has signed a one-day contract with Detroit, but does it even have to be a one-day contract? Does it even have to be symbolic? Could he actually go out there and play? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as the Wings are playing off against the Islanders right now. Had to go out there and make a video about this signing, though, because it's just that cool. Thoughts in the comment section about Pavel Datsyuk officially signing a deal with the Red Wings. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.